Life's a party. Life's always a party. Let's go, Paul.
Yo, what's going on? How we doing out there, everyone? Today, life's a party. You know it.
We're finally getting some good weather. We no longer have to defrost our cars.
That's true. Yeah,
How bad is that in the morning when we have to go out into our car and it's so cold we have to defrost it, and then we just start saying random curse words? Why is that a thing we do when we go out to defrost our car?
I have no
It's
clue.
our first instincts is to say every curse word we know in the book while we're in the car, wait until it heats up.
Absolutely. I hate defrosting the car. I remember it was only last week, honestly. We were still doing that. Hopefully we don't have to do it again. We are finally past that moment.
What about those spoiled kids who would have their parents go out and defrost their cars for them?
It's like, Mom, I'm going to school. Can you go defrost my car? I mean, people nowadays too, they can you have the instant starts.
Oh, the push to start.
Yeah. No, well, even you could do it from your house. You could warm up your car and you don't ever have to leave your house now.
Oh, yeah, there's some high-tech shit out there now.
Some more privilege if you got the cash. But not me. I got my 2008 Chevy Impala, baby.
With roll-down windows.
Yeah. Oh, no. Dude, my first car, I had roll-down windows. Have you ever had a car with roll-down windows?
I have not, thank God. Maybe I'd be a little bit more buff if I had a car with roll-down windows.
Yeah, you can really crank
more
it out.
More of a wrist workout. I mean, other people get their wrist workout a different way, but that would be a sufficient way to get some guns.
So
but
why is your right hand so much stronger than your left hand?
Oh, I didn't even think about that because if I'm driving, I'd have to roll down the left window. Some people can't even my girlfriend can't flex her left arm.
That's what? Really?
Yeah. She has looks like she's constipated when she's trying to flex her left arm. She's like, I can't flex my left arm, but feel my right arm. Yeah, I've been going to the gym.
It's like, okay, you need to work both arms. That's just someone who, only does chest and doesn't do any leg day. You look lopsided.
But I am excited, Paul. You know why I'm excited?
Why, buddy?
Because I saw the little Space Jam teaser dropped recently.
Okay.
And the cast was on the photo.
Yeah, so something that I wanted to talk about.
And there's some controversy.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some controversy
absolutely
that we have to talk about here. So if you follow any type of media, if not, that's why you listen to us. So
we are your media.
So we can bring
that's
it to
what we
you.
Are.
Yeah.
Your media.
We can bring this to you. Something I want to talk about real quick before we start the show. Something going on with movies right now. Space Jam 2. If you watch the first Space Jam, came out in 1996.
Classic.
Year we were born.
Oh, there we go. We are Space Jam. I heard that.
And Space Jam 2 is coming out this year from Warner Brothers.
LeBron James.
And they, posted some little teaser stuff. And they put some new photos in magazines and published some things of the cast, which is really LeBron James and the
Looney Tunes.
Yeah, all the Looney Tune characters.
But let's hear this controversy. So get the juicy stuff flowing. That's what the people here are here to listen to. The juicy stuff.
The controversy here deals with Bugs Bunny's girlfriend, Lola Bunny.
Lola.
And people are getting mad that she has been desexualized in her new rendering of her cartoonness, you can say.
This is a bummer. I mean, this is a bummer. I did like Lola. She was a high point of Space Jam, the first one in 1996. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to say this in the most unweird way possible.
Yeah.
But if I were to have a sexual relationship with a character bunny that was an animation, it would be Lola Bunny.
Okay. Makes sense, yeah.
Is that weird? It might be weird.
It's a little weird.
If I had to. if I had to have a sexual relationship with a cartoon bunny, she'd be the one.
So here's the whole thing. Basically, Lola Bunny went through a redesign a while back. And
she got a breast deduction. She didn't go through a redesign. That's a breast reduction. Let's call it how we see it, Paul.
Okay. And people are mad that they are saying that, Gen Z is so sensitive and I can't believe this. And, basically they redesigned her that they kind of took away her boobs. Bunny doesn't need boobs. She was in a crop top. They put her in a full
a freshman jersey would get.
And her ass probably isn't as big as they used to draw it.
Her face is kind of, she looks drunk. Does she not look hammered in the new one?
I agree. A little stoned.
Maybe I'd prefer her to look sexy instead of drunk compared to if my little cousin would see this movie. Wouldn't you rather your little cousin see someone who is hot? This is just so weird talking about a bunny, or someone who is drunk. You don't want your little cousin to get drunk. Your little cousin's okay attracting other girls.
Just want to
that are bunnies.
Just want to see a normal cartoon character. But there was a lot of controversy, as we said. There was people coming out, mostly conservatives, or people blaming that like Gen Z and the liberals have taken everything too far. It's like, dude, if you were jacking off to a bunny, like a cartoon bunny, you have some issues. It's a kid's movie.
A lot of jacking off to start the show here.
One of the producers came out because people obviously were mad about it. They're like, why is this going on?
Well, they're mad about everything all the time. But go ahead.
And the producer just said, it's like, hey, we thought, with the main audience being a children's movie, literally like Looney Tunes, cartoons, characters, that in the modern day, she shouldn't be sexualized. She was the way back in 1996, which is correct.
Is it a kid's movie though? Is it a kid's movie?
Yes, it is.
I mean, I feel like it's our generation's movie. Like our generation players, LeBron James.
Yes.
So was Space Jam's even our movie either? Because I feel like our parents' generation was Michael Jordan was their guy.
Yes, agreed.
So they would go take their kids to go see this movie because they wanted to see the Michael Jordan movie. Wouldn't this be like our generation taking our kids? I don't have any kids. But to go see LeBron's movie.
I agree.
They don't go for the Looney Tunes. I mean, I guess the Looney Tunes. Who cares?
But
I mean,
with the Looney Tunes, there are kids' cartoons. So I just think it's a funny story. Let us know what you think. People are absolute lunatics if they have an issue with this. Like, that's the big thing.
I mean, just everyone's on the canceled list. I mean, I might be canceled after this podcast. You never know.
You may be.
Mr. Potato Head got canceled, Dr. Seuss. Who was the other Looney Tune you said before we get into our show?
Pepe Le Pew.
We don't have the real details on that. If you know the details, why he got canceled or when he got canceled, let us know. Because we're very suspicious and we haven't Googled it yet. So let us know.
We saw it in an article, and I heard about it too, looking up Lola Bunny. But yeah, he's not in the new movie. There's a reason why. Let us know if you know.
Well, if the old Lola Bunny is like free out there and you're listening to Nice to Party, I know a nice restaurant. A nice little Italian restaurant. We can go out, play some basketball. Lola Bunny only. That's a shout out for you. All right, let's get into the show. What's our first block, Paul?
The first block that we are doing
Enough
today.
jacking off and bunny talk.
Yeah, I agree. The first segment that we are doing today, we're going to, start some cool drinking stuff doing here on the show. The first block, Ryan and I are going to start the show by going down a list of 3 celebrities that you may or may not know have their own alcohol.
There's a lot of celebrities who go out and make their own alcohol, which is interesting, like whether they make a wine, whether they make a vodka, or I don't know if a celebrity ever made beer.
Oh, for sure. People, there's no way that own celebrity didn't craft their own beer.
All right, so we have 3 celebrities here that we're going to tell you about who came up with their own alcohol. So the first one we're going to talk about is a fan favorite, Danny DeVito. He came up with his own Lemoncello. Now, before I get into the story, Paul, you'd never even heard of Lemoncello. You actually asked me, how do I pronounce Lemoncello?
I was watching some videos on Danny DeVito as he's premiering his Lemoncello, and I didn't even know what it was. I said, what the hell is this?
Well, it's really big in Italy. I know my cousin went to Italy, because that's what kids do. When they go before they turn 21, they go to Italy just so that they can drink. And Lemoncello is the big. I've actually never had it, though I am intrigued to try this out. So here's the story about how Danny DeVito thought about making his own Lemoncello. So apparently one night he went out to dinner with George Clooney. You know him, Paul? You love him? Batman?
I do know. I like how Batman's the reference you go to.
Well, I'm going with Batman. So DeVito went out to eat with George Clooney one night, and they had a lot of shots and got really messed up. They were smacked up. DeVito said he had 7 Lemoncello shots. Are they shots, I think? I think they might be shots.
No, it's like a drink.
Okay, well, he had 7 lemon, what is this called?
Limoncello?
Limoncello. And then he said he had a 7 a.m. Radio talk show spot that he had to be at. So when he got home, he didn't even go to bed. So he said he got home, he talked to his wife on the phone, pulled an all-nighter, didn't sleep all night, went to the 7 a.m. radio show. Everything was fine. Nothing happened there. So then he got into a limo to go to his next gig, which was The View. Now, if you guys know this story, the YouTube video has 3 million views. So Danny DeVito said he passed out from his radio show to The View in the limo all the way there. He gets out. He doesn't even remember. He just runs on the stage. No one told him what to say. No one told him how to prep. He literally just ran onto the stage of The View, hammered, ready just to splurge out words. And it's a really funny video. Check it out on YouTube. Danny DeVito just hammered on The View talking about his like White House experience.
Yeah.
He's like, it looks a really Bill Clinton-y in here. That's how he tells a story. I don't know what that means. I mean, I guess it has to do with a secretary.
Well, he was talking about how he like stayed at the White House and he was with his wife and how they were banging all over like
Abraham Lincoln's bedroom.
Yeah.
What? Is that at his actual bedroom?
I don't know, but that's definitely. I mean, it's a funny story. He was clearly wasted
He was
in the morning.
off the walls. I mean, you gotta check it. Like Rosie O'Donnell's there laughing with him, and Danny DeVito was literally just going nuts on The View because he was drunk off Lemoncello. So then he was like, you know what? I should make my own Lemoncello. I mean, this was a memorable moment in my life. Got messed up with George Clooney. Went on The View, and it's this most 3 million views on YouTube. I should go and make my own Lemoncello.
Some of the best decisions in life are you make and you think of when you're drunk, right?
Yeah.
We talk about that on the show all the time. It's like, do we get creative juices flowing when we get inebriated? And clearly, Danny DeVito was getting a little tipsy, getting a little smacked up, and said, "Why don't I, profit off this and make my own?" That's a great idea.
It was such a viral video where it's like, why not? Like, that's a perfect selling point.
Great
it's like,
idea.
This is a moment in life that everyone's gonna remember. It's hilarious. Check it out. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own limoncello. So that's some goat stuff. Danny DeVito, funny guy. What is the next one, Paul? Segue here. He was in our first story.
Yeah. Our boy, George Clooney,
Our boy.
a.k.a. Batman to Ryan.
He's our boy now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's Batman. He's Batman.
Okay.
Of
Sure.
course.
Is he the Batman? Like the number one Batman?
No. Michael Keaton, I think, is the number one Batman. George Clooney was known for the bat nipples. Do you know anything about bat nipples?
I feel like we've talked about this on the show, but I do not remember it. No.
So George Clooney did, I think, Batman Forever, Batman Beyond. I don't remember what Batman, but it was known as the worst Batman film ever.
Batman Red Couch.
Batman and Robin, maybe. And he was known for having the Batman suit, but they designed nipples on it.
Okay.
And it was like, why does the Batman suit have to have nipples?
Yeah, that is kind of weird because it's not like his shirt's off. Like, that's
No.
not his skin.
So
I mean, okay. What, are you trying to cancel Batman now, Paul?
No, it was just creative choice.
First Lola Bunny, and now you're trying to cancel George Clooney?
I mean, if you like bat nipples, let us know.
All right, so what alcohol did he make himself?
George Clooney.
Well, he didn't make it.
No, but this is George Clooney's tequila.
Tequila.
So this is Casamigos Tequila by George Clooney. But this was really cool. So as we said, some of the best ideas you get are when you're smacked up and having a good time with your friends.
For sure.
And George Clooney was with with two friends, and he founded one of the fastest growing tequila brands in the world right now by accident in 2013. The company is Casamigos, which sold for $1 billion back in June of 2017, a sale that made George Clooney actually the highest paid actor of 2018, yet he actually didn't do a film that year.
Dude, that's insane. That's nuts. So that just goes to show if you find the right... what's it called? Network. So if you network with the right people, you can get into the right business, and then you can invest your money the right way. So this guy didn't even have to make a movie. He didn't have to make a Batman nipple movie, and he was the highest paid actor of all time, or that year.
Yeah. Well, we talk about
Insane.
athletes all the time, right? So really high paid athletes, most of their money is actually not coming from the sport they're playing in. It's usually coming from endorsements. Especially like with LeBron James or Tiger Woods, or Tiger was the highest paid athlete for like 10 years when he was in his prime. And it was mostly from Nike and Gatorade and PGA Golf. And
it helps out those team players too. So you look at LeBron James. So he gets all his money from endorsements. So then what does that allow him to do? That allows him to take a pay cut, which allows the team and the owner spend money elsewhere, which then gives LeBron better teams to play with because he doesn't need to make that salary income because he already has income coming in from all different directions. Same thing with Tom Brady.
Yeah, I agree. That's cool. I mean, George
What do you mean
Clooney,
you agree? It was a statement.
I agree.
It's hard to disagree with that one.
It's a great way. If you're an athlete, listen to Ryan and you'll succeed in your life.
Yeah. Is that it on George Clooney's tequila?
Yeah.
I love tequila. Tequila's my go-to.
Okay.
Someone DM'd us. They're like, what's your go-to alcohol? And obviously I said Bud Light's my go-to. But then sprinkle in some shots of tequila and you're bound for a good night. Don't you agree?
I do like tequila shots. I was actually in Jersey City 2 weekends ago, and we all did a round of tequila shots at the bar, and it was just good. And I realized sometimes tequila is really good when you get the high end, expensive tequila. Unfortunately, you might not want to pay that price, but that tequila I realized is so different than cheap tequila.
So here's the thing. That's what they said. George Clooney and the guy he partnered with, I think he's actually the husband of a celebrity of some sort, maybe a model. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. But they said they would go to Mexico and they would just order a lot of tequila. And they said some tequila was more expensive than others. Some didn't go down as smooth. Some were colder or warmer. So they wanted to create their own tequila so that they can enjoy the taste of tequila every time they drink it. But then here's my thing is that when I have tequila, I really don't taste the difference. I mean, I could just be a lunatic.
Maybe.
But I really...
Maybe that's true.
Well, here's the thing. I'm a bitch. Yeah. So I always use the lime and salt.
No,
so
I
think that might take... Doesn't that take out the whole taste of the tequila then?
No, I mean, I think that helps the tequila go down and it like adds to it.
I don't really remember. Maybe because I always have like tequila when I'm smacked up. I don't taste anything.
If you're just taking tequila to really get drunk and not actually enjoy the taste of tequila, I think you're doing the right thing.
Okay.
You're fine. You don't, you can take the lime, you can take the salt.
Okay. Good. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
I got you.
Thank you. All right. So our last guy is Conor McGregor. The UFC. Oh, you're going to punch the screen there?
I'm doing a little Conor.
Paul's getting pumped up.
My Irishness is coming out.
Here. I was going to wonder how quick you're to bring in that Irish heritage into this segment real quick. So Conor McGregor came out with Proper 12. It is a whiskey, I believe, Paul. Am I right on that? So it is a
Irish whiskey, baby.
It's an Irish whiskey. And a lot of people were wondering, like, why did he name it Proper 12? So it turns out that McGregor is from Kremlin, which is a place in Dublin. Yeah, he's from Dublin, Ireland, and Kremlin is like his area code. So 12 is the area code of Kremlin.
Okay.
Like us, we're the 856. A lot of Jersey people who make it in like the NFL or they make it in being an actor and actress, they'll be like, oh, it's represent for the 856. Well, Conor McGregor's representing for the 12. That's what he is, the 12.
Okay.
So he just wanted to make a product that represents his like community because it's like a gritty community where everyone's a hard worker and they're really into their whiskey there. So he just wanted to make this whiskey to kind of symbolize where he's from and his roots.
Yeah, I like Proper 12. I've had it a few times. I told Ryan this before the show. I like, and as Ryan said, I like anything Irish related. I'm a big heritage guy.
Heritage guy.
Something I've told like my girlfriend.
Leprechauns?
No,
big leprechaun guy?
Well, dude, we have St. Patrick's Day's coming up, man.
It is coming up. So one thing I saw about the Conor McGregor thing, which was pretty cool, I don't know what year it was, but he was on the Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show, and you really don't see these UFC fighters go on the Tonight Show or Tonight Shows in general, not just Jimmy Fallon's. But he went out, and something I like to do that Jimmy Fallon does is he'll go out with that celebrity and like endorse their product while being in like the public. So he went to a bar in New York City, and it was an Irish bar. I don't know if you've ever been there. You've been to a lot of bars in New York. I don't remember what it was called.
Okay.
But so him and Conor McGregor had the interview at the bar, and they were just drinking his whiskey and passing it back and forth, and it's just a really cool vibe. Jimmy Fallon like does that a lot with a lot of celebrities. I know he went to Olive Garden with Post Malone. It's a cool video. Check it out on YouTube. They get drunk. Like, Jimmy's always getting drunk around the city in New York. He used to get in trouble a lot for doing that.
I was just going to say that. Jimmy's actually, he's gotten in trouble sometimes by the network of getting too drunk. Especially in New York City, I mean, there's a lot of Irish bars. I remember talking to my friends sometimes trying to find like one of the best Irish bars in New York City just to like have a few drinks with after the show, or we went out for the night in New York and we said, where should we go? But there's so many Irish bars in New York City. There's so many bars in general, but yeah, Jimmy's a man who likes to drink.
He's authentic. Like a lot of people wouldn't do that. Like the talk show host would not go out with the celebrity, drink its whiskey, get hammered, and he sings like an Irish jig on stage with the people there. And it's a good scene.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
It just keeps them authentic. So that's it. There it is. So McGregor's whiskey. You got Dane DeVito's Lemoncello. And you got George Clooney's Tequila. We might have to check these out sometime. Maybe drink them on the show.
Yeah, that'd be a cool idea.
You never know.
Next thing we got here, Block 2.
What do we have here? Oh, we have you were today's year old when you found out blank. I'm going back to naming these segments, Paul. You were today's year old when you found out blank. So Paul and I are going to go down a list of sayings or concepts that we bet you guys never knew because guess what? I sure as hell didn't. So we're going to provide some information, and we're just going to basically just shoot the shit about these things.
Yeah, this is a cool segment where, we get to learn something, you get to learn something. These are stupid, but like fun.
Stupid. Very stupid. But we are stupid, and we are fun. There we go. 2 great adjectives on Life's a Party.
Damn, that was good. Smooth,
Thank
man.
you. That's why they call me Silky Smooth.
It's like all the tequila and the other liquor, right?
I had 2 nicknames in basketball in high school. One was silky smooth, and the other one was big sexy. They called me.
Okay, big sexy, maybe. Maybe. I
We're
don't
not gonna reveal who called me big sexy, but nickname. I think it's gonna stick. I think it's sticking a little bit with you. You gonna call me big sexy now?
Maybe, we'll see.
So what's this first phrase that we're gonna teach to the people? We're gonna be teachers. That's what we do. I asked Paul what the first one is. He's taking a sip of Red Bull.
Red Bull, not sponsored, but please.
Not sponsored, but let me show the camera and drink it.
Please let me know if you're willing to sponsor us. I need some energy. The first one here, we got bite the bullet.
What's it mean, Paul? What does bite? Actually, I don't know what it is. Bite the bullet.
So the meaning of the phrase is basically to accept something difficult or unpleasant, right? To bite the bullet, baby. In the olden days, when doctors were short on anesthesia or in time during a battle, they would actually ask their patient to bite down on a bullet to distract them from the pain.
This is actually bizarre, and it's kind of really interesting as hell. So biting the bullet is you're basically taking the L, right?
Yeah.
So this guy, so I guess they didn't have. I mean, this is just wild. So I'm just picturing like MASH. You know the movie MASH, or not the movie MASH, the sitcom MASH.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just picturing them in like those military beds, literally biting a bullet to just ease the pain for whatever surgery they're about to get done. What if they swallow the bullet? Now that I think about it,
Well, so I immediately think
that would be pretty shitty.
You know, sometimes where, like patients are, have you ever seen in these old shows where they have to like maybe like amputate something or like a part of you?
Chop their leg off?
Or something, right? And they basically give the patient a towel, right? To bite down on.
Oh, yeah.
So it's maybe same idea, right?
But the bullet is so small. Like I don't know if I'd be able to do that.
That's what's weird too. The bullet is really small. So you probably could choke on that shit.
Swallow the bullet. That's what they should call it.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is break the ice. This one's a nut. These are all so interesting. We'll just tell you what it is. So what does break the ice mean, Paul? It means to break off a conflict or a friendship. So let's break the ice. Or sometimes it's like, let's just get it out of the open. Like, let's just break the ice. Or icebreakers, you guys know in college. You stand up, say where you're from, what's your favorite food, and whatnot. But break the ice.
Do you know the pickup line?
The polar bear or some shit?
Hey, Rye.
What?
So you walk in a bar. This is a scene, right? You walk in the bar.
Okay, Lola the bunny's there.
Okay, yeah, Lola's there, right? 1996, Lola, you walk in,
Okay.
say, hey, Lola, how much does a polar bear weigh?
I don't know.
Enough to break the ice. Hi, I'm Paul.
Okay, that might work because she is a bunny, and so a polar bear is like a two animal thing, so that might actually work out.
Okay.
All right, so break the ice actually originates from when, back in the old days when road transportation was not developed yet, ships would be only transportation and would only travel by ships in means of like trade. So I would like trade you shit on a ship. So at times,
Trade your shit on a ship.
so
Nice.
at times the ships would get stuck during the winter because of the ice and the glaciers. I was gonna make a Titanic joke, but I'm gonna skip over that one. But the receiving country would actually send a small ship, Paul, to break the ice to clear way for the trading ship. What did I say? Shit?
Are they giving you shit or a ship?
No. So they're sending another ship out to sea to break the ice so that the other ship can go forward and give the trade of the other goods. I don't know. They could be giving them shit. I don't know what they're giving them, but they're giving them something. But that's where they break the ice from. Okay, Paul? Why you gotta make fun of my joke? I mean, why you gotta make fun of my fact?
I don't really want to be shipped shit. I don't know if that would be a good present or gift.
I mean, it might be good.
It's a little stanky.
Okay.
Oh, wait, so...
I always notice you always like revert to shit on the show.
How?
Like poop.
When else... Stop saying it. It's going to pop the microphone. I was telling Ryan before the show, break the ice, right?
Oh, you were going to tell me this. And I told you to save it for the podcast.
Yeah, so something...
I do that often. Sorry.
Something with Chicago recently, the Northeast had that really bad like snowstorm in February, and it kept snowing every couple days. It was getting really bad, freezing temperatures and stuff, where the ships to like, with like goods and stuff in Chicago weren't able to get in and out of the city because the rivers were frozen. So there's a ship that literally goes in and is like it's called the icebreaker, and it's meant to just crack all the ice and to make sure the water's churning so they can go up and down the river.
It's really interesting.
I got you, buddy. That's what I do.
Now that's a fun fact.
That is a fun fact in Chicago.
Okay, Paul, so what is the next one?
The next one is to butter someone up.
Whoa.
To lather them in
Are
butter.
we getting sexual here?
To lather them up, baby. That's what we do.
No, tell us what it actually is.
So to butter someone up, this actually means, to impress someone, usually with flattery, right? To make sure, it's kind of usually if you want to get your way, right?
Yeah. You want to you'll butter up your parents so that they get you the new PlayStation.
Yes.
Be like, Mom, I'll go clean the dishes today, or like, I'll go wash your car. I'll do the laundry. It's like something's up with this kid. Like, what do you want? Like, why are you trying to butter me up?
Yeah, exactly, right? So the origin of this actually this was a customary religious act in ancient India, and the people would throw butterballs at the statues of their gods to seek favor and forgiveness.
This is pretty fucking stupid.
You just throw in the butterballs, baby.
It's almost like confession for Catholics. You have to go to the church and then confess your sins to the priest. But instead, you just bring some fucking butterballs, just peg these statues, and then, oh my God, you have no more sins. I like that. Maybe I'll go to the church and start getting some butter, put them up in balls, and start chucking it at the church.
Chucking it at the priest?
Yeah, and then all my sins will be forgotten. I mean, that's a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that.
One of my favorite things as a kid was like going to an Italian restaurant and seeing the little butterballs.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big thing.
I don't know how that correlates with an Indian tradition. It is a butterball.
Yeah.
How do you get a butterball? Do you make a butterball?
You get butter. You put it in a little ball form.
Okay, no, I need to know that process. That was not a good explanation. You get a butter and you put it in a bowl. That's not what. Oh, you can't do this because then your hands are warm temperature.
So?
And then it melts the butter.
You could still do that with like a snowball, right? Even though the snow's cold.
I don't
freeze the butter, make it cold.
Freeze the butter, make it cold,
and then rub it, make it warm, and a ball.
And then you put it back in the freezer.
There you go.
Butterball. There you go. Fun fact. Lots of fun facts today.
Fun fact.
Next one is barking up the wrong tree. This might be the one that everyone knows about. So everyone who knows what barking up the tree or barking up the wrong tree means is to have misguided thoughts about an event or situation. It's a false lead.
Yeah. No barking up that tree. You want to bark up the right tree.
So the origin of this saying comes from hunting dogs. So that they may have chased their prey up a tree. The dog starts barking, assuming the prey's up in the tree. Turns out the prey's no longer there. So you're barking up the wrong tree there, little Clifford.
You're barking up the wrong tree.
Clifford. Clifford wasn't little.
Clifford was a big red dog, man.
I don't think he would be a hunting dog.
Have you?
Is Clifford still on air?
No, it's not. But did you see that?
Did Clifford get canceled?
No, Clifford wasn't cancel culture.
Clifford didn't have cancer? Jeez, this show's off the rail today.
No, but did you see the movie? They're making a live-action Clifford the Big Red Dog movie.
Oh, wow. Is he going to have Batman nipples?
He's hopefully not. There was a poster and a little teaser trailer that came out a few months ago.
Is he an action dog?
No, it's like an actual dog, and it looks like a...
They painted him red?
Yeah.
No way.
It looks like a lab.
No way.
And it's red. It's ugly, really.
Dude, what? Well, how is that dog going to get paid? I guess a lot of treats that dogs would get paid for being an actor. That's like Air Bud. How does Air Bud get compensated for his work?
Whoever owns the dog, I guess.
I guess he gets a lot of treats. Little boy's going to get a lot of treats for being Air Bud.
Sticking with the theme of red, the next one, we get caught red-handed.
This one's my favorite. I'm kind of mad you get to explain it to them. That means you're going to be on the TikTok. So that means I have to add something memorable after you explain the caught red-handed that gets me into the TikTok that goes viral.
Okay, ready?
No, okay.
Right.
Wait. Let me think. Okay. Go ahead. I'll see if I'll be on my game.
So the next one we got here is caught red-handed.
Oh, I like this one.
The meaning is to be caught in the act of doing something wrong. So you're doing something. Maybe you're going in your mom's purse. You need an extra $1 for the ice cream. Was it?
Is that a fat joke?
No. You need an extra $1 for Mr. Frosty, who's pulling up on a nice summer afternoon.
Didn't Mr. Frosty get canceled? Everybody's getting canceled.
Oh, Mr. Softy. That's who I'm talking about.
Who did I say? You said Mr.
Frosty, the snowman, baby.
The snowman, baby.
But to be
caught.
Snowman,
baby.
To be caught.
The snowman, baby. Oh, I'm going to get a cramp.
To be caught in the act of doing something wrong. So what is the origin of caught red-handed?
I don't know. Can you hurry up and tell us?
This orinated.
This urinated.
Dude, this is a
this
bad
urinated.
One.
All right, here we go. Where did caught red-handed originate from, Paul?
This originates from an old English law that ordered any person to be punished or for butchering an animal that wasn't his own. The only way the person could be convicted is that if he was still caught with the animal's blood on his hands.
All right, so if you got caught red-handed, that means you aren't a very good criminal.
No.
I mean, you got to be a good criminal in order to get away with stealing some meat. That wasn't sexual, right?
I mean, if you were caught beating the meat
Okay.
and the meat's not yours, you're going
So
to
the
jail.
whole purpose of this is he steals someone else's like pork or chicken
I guess so. It's a
or
farm.
or like a cow. Like he steals your cow somehow. Like does a cow tip, goes down to the field. Cow tips the cow with his buddy.
Yeah.
Takes the cow, wraps it up like a rodeo, puts it in the trunk, chops it up. Sorry, vegetarians. Chops it up, and then he's got red meat on his hand. Boom. The cops arrive. I don't even know if they have cops back in the day. They did this shit. You got red on your hand, therefore you were to chop your head off.
Yep, exactly. There you go. Caught red-handed for you.
I feel like you'd have to be a really, really, really bad criminal to get caught red-handed, literally.
So something I thought was really interesting was people were talking about how police and criminals were caught in the early 1900s. It's like 1910, 1920. And
How police were caught or how they caught people?
how police caught criminals.
Okay.
It was really rare to actually be caught doing something illegal. So if you were robbing a bank, bank robbers in the early 1900s used to dress up for the bank robbery.
Or, like as a worker there?
No, they would put on a nice suit, a nice hat, like old school gangsters. You would literally dress up for the bank robbery.
It'd be like, oh shit, suit and tie coming in. Suit and tie coming in. Please get extra security.
And the only way the police actually caught you was if you were still there when the police showed up. They didn't know about DNA.
They probably didn't have that red button that banks have now.
No.
Damn. I wish we're living in the wrong generation.
You didn't know what DNA was. There was no security cameras. You could have a pool full of your blood at the bank.
And they wouldn't be able to know who
Nope.
it was. Man, you had to be a pretty shitty criminal to get caught back in those days.
Exactly.
The glory days.
Last, damn, can't rob banks. Those were the glory days.
Well, we talked about how I wanted to rob a bank. Well, I didn't want to rob a bank.
Why do you want to rob a
No,
bank?
I wanted to break into the mint and then print my paper and then get out.
Okay. I don't know if you want to talk about how you want to rob a bank.
No one tell anybody if you're listening to this.
Last
Just
one.
DM me. Maybe you can join me. We'll get into the heist.
Last one here. What do
All
we
right,
got?
last one is give a cold shoulder. So the meaning is being unwelcoming or antisocial towards someone. So this is a pretty cool, I always say that, they're all freaking cool. So this is a medieval England thing that it was accustomed to give a guest a cold piece of meat, a pork, beef chop, when the host felt that it was time for you to leave their house. So this is kind of comparable to where people would do you want coffee? It's like once you get the coffee going, you make coffee for everybody, that's like telling people it's time to almost leave. So I guess this saying, give the cold shoulder, so you're giving them the meat, you're giving them the steak, and they would put the steak on their shoulder and they would carry it out the door. Is that right, or am I just making my own shit up?
No, that idea. It's like you're giving that person a to-go gift. So when you get them meat and you put it on your shoulder, giving them the cold shoulder is telling them, hey, we're done for today. Come back tomorrow. We'll talk to you later.
I wish my friends would give me a New York strip steak on the way out.
I think it's so interesting
You give me a New York strip steak, I'm out in 2 seconds. I'll sprint out of the house with a cold shoulder.
that I saw this fact the other day that said it was 80% of people said that they don't know how to stop a conversation. They don't know when to end it. So it's a lot of your conversations go on way too long, and that both people aren't interested in continuing the conversation, but don't know how to politely end it for the other person.
I would just be like, that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool.
It said, I saw this too, where it was most of the time, once people start saying, wow, that's crazy, it's time to get the hell out of there because they're not listening.
Dude, that is a good point, though. It's tough when you're on the phone. I'll be like, I got to make some shit up on how I got to hang up the phone.
Yeah, it was,
I'm like, oh, shit, I got to go eat dinner. I ate dinner 3 times. I thought you already ate dinner. Shit. Fuck. All right, I got to come up with something new.
it's with Zoom. It's you don't have to travel there. It's you're on Zoom, and how do you politely end your Zoom conversation with your family? It's oh, what do you got to do?
Dude, that is weird. When I have meetings in Zoom for work, it's no one ever knows how to go. This is how I end meetings. I'll be the one to break the ice. That's what we just used here. I break the ice. I go, so we done here? I got the balls to say, are we good? Are we good to go?
Yeah.
No one ever says that. That's the thing. That's what everything always carries on. It's why no one's ever has the balls to be are we done? And then my boss was like, hey, we're good. I was like, okay. So no one ever gets to that point, or else it would have dragged on for another 20 minutes.
You just keep talking.
All right, so that was good. What's our last segment, Paul? Movies.
last segment here, our third block of the day. We're just going to be talking about some movie studios and curious, do you know which studios actually produce some of your favorite films?
I'm a big Warner Brothers guy.
Yeah. So some of the
Wait, I could be just pulling this out of my ass. So what are some Warner Brother movies?
Well,
Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes are on here. Warner
Lola.
Brothers.
That's my number one production company now.
I was gonna. I'll explain a little bit. There's 6 main studios, but one. I don't know if there's 5 now. I'm gonna go down the list.
I was just jumping the gun.
One kind of got absorbed by Disney, as you'll see here.
Okay, I just saw Lola and I got excited.
But our main movie studios in Hollywood are Disney, Warner Brothers, Universal, Paramount, Sony, and then it used to be Fox. But a couple years ago, Disney bought 20th Century Fox.
Fox?
The movie studio.
Fox made movies?
Yeah.
Name a Fox movie. Finding Fox?
Titanic.
Titanic was a Fox movie?
Avatar.
Whoa, that's weird.
Alien, Home Alone.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know what I mean? So Fox had all of their films, and Disney bought them a little bit ago. So there were
Disney
6
buys
studios.
everyone who's in contention to steal their spot.
Most Disney properties now have been acquired.
I'm pretty stupid when it comes to this shit, but I thought Warner Brothers was part of Disney.
No, dude. Warner Brothers is probably Disney's biggest competition.
I thought DC Marvel was I'm all over the place right now. I'll let you structure how you want to tell people about these things, and then I'll jump in at that point.
So Disney is my favorite.
All right, so we'll talk Disney first.
Yeah, I think it's the biggest movie studio by far. With obviously the acquisition of 20th Century Fox a couple of years ago, it was a $70 billion purchase from Disney.
$70 billion purchase?
Yeah.
Well, why would they do that? Like, what's in it for them? Just those. Like when Disney purchases Fox, what's the benefit in doing that?
So I think the biggest reason why they did that was a couple years ago, before Disney Plus came on, the market. Disney really wanted to start competing more in a digital space, like with Netflix. And Disney Plus right now, actually, they just had their earnings call, and they just reached over 100 million subscribers, and it's only been a little bit over a year, which is really interesting. And Disney's killing it in the digital game. That's the only reason right now why Disney's doing well.
So you think that's why they bought out Fox, because they think Fox is very well on the broadcast and TV side?
No, so when Disney bought Fox, they only bought 20th Century Fox, which is their movie division. Fox kept all their TV stuff.
Oh,
but they mainly bought Fox because of their incredible catalog of films and TV.
So now they own Home Alone, The Simpsons, Family Guy, Avatar, Titanic.
All of those Fox brands that they now can put on Disney Plus.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
That's like Kevin Durant joining the Warriors. It's like, oh, I want to be on a super team. Let me just go there and I'll win a championship. That's like Disney. I want these movies. I have a shit ton of money. Let me buy them so they're mine. That's fucked up.
That's what Disney was doing. Most of their properties, as we'll go, they acquired. So Marvel was actually under Paramount and Viacom, the first couple movies like Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk. And then Disney bought Marvel. I forget how much. I think it was maybe $60 million.
What's the comic company? The company that writes Marvel comics, because they're comics first, right?
Yeah, so Marvel Comics.
Okay, so then Marvel Comics then looks for the best offer from whatever production company to do their movies?
Well, Marvel actually created its own production studio called Marvel Studios in 2008.
Creative name.
Well, that's what it is. Marvel Comics, Marvel Studios, right? So they did that. They were under different distributors. So Iron Man was under Paramount, and then The Incredible Hulk was actually distributed by Universal Studios.
So it's almost like a drug dealer. So you got different distributors on different blocks. So this is 21st Street. You're the distributor from this intersection to this intersection. And then you're the distributor from 45th Street down to 60th Street. You got this intersection, this little hotel lobby.
Exactly. They were just trying to get enough money.
For all the drug dealers watching at home, I got you.
I think the drug dealers know how their business works.
No, I'm giving a little correlation of the Disney product.
So Marvel Studios was purchased by Disney. So now all of the Marvel stuff was under Disney. Also, Disney bought Lucasfilms, which is Star Wars and Indiana Jones. That's a big property. They bought Pixar Animation, which was kind of their biggest competitor in the early 2000s.
Oh, buy! All I hear is buy, buy, buy. Their credit cards got to be through the roof.
But it's doing well. Disney also has Disney Animation, and Walt Disney Pictures, which is like everything that's not animated, like Pirates of the Caribbean and anything live action that like the new Beauty and the Beast, that's live action. That would be Walt Disney Pictures.
Oh, all right. What's the next one?
The next one is their biggest competitor, definitely, is Warner Brothers, right? So Warner Brothers in, like with Marvel, Warner Brothers owns DC and all like DC Comics. So you got
What
like
does
the
DC
Justice.
stand for?
It's the comics. It's like
The comics. DC stands for the comics.
I think it's Detective Comics,
Detective Comics.
if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
But that's all like Justice League, so
Gonna have to
Superman,
fact check that.
Batman, all that stuff. Warner Brothers also owns Harry Potter and the Wizarding World.
Wait, so DC came up with the Batman nipples?
Yes, they
We're
did.
gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to have a word with them.
Yes, they
Okay.
did.
All right, Harry Potter. You said
Harry Potter, it's a really big brand for Warner Brothers.
Harry Potter stinks.
All right, I don't know. I mean, a
It
lot
stinks.
of people would disagree with you.
Stinks. Next one.
Next
Let's
one.
not even give the time of Harry Potter.
Next one is
I like JK though. She's cool.
No, she's not actually.
She's not cool. Did she get canceled too?
She has been canceled.
Oh my! Everyone's getting canceled. I might get canceled. Lights a Party might get canceled today.
Do you know why she's
I
been
just said I would
canceled?
have a sexual relationship with Lola the bunny. I'm definitely gonna get canceled.
Well, if you keep talking about it, yeah.
Okay. We can talk. Why did
We
you
don't-
get canceled? I'm intrigued. You can't just say that. You can't just tell the people at home you got canceled and not say why.
But
You won't elaborate. Just give me the facts.
J.K. Rowling, obviously the author of Harry Potter, came out and she's kind of had some really bad notions towards like being transgender and transphobia, I guess you would call
All right.
it,
She's
and all
canceled.
that kind of stuff.
Canceled.
So, yeah.
Next one.
She's been kind of canceled. Lord of the Rings, Warner Brothers owns. Obviously, we talked about the Looney Tunes. And then you go into smaller properties like Cartoon Network, Austin Powers, Scooby-Doo, Hanna-Barbera. Do you know any of those cartoons?
Hannah, Banana, Banana. Is that it?
Hanna-Barbera, Barbera.
I know the song. I just remember what it is.
Hanna-Barbera
The
cartoons.
Jetsons. I love the Jetsons.
Yeah. So that Hanna-Barbera is like a very famous old cartoon studio, which is like the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Yogi Berra.
So seeing this, it looks like Warner Brothers was in the lead back in the day.
They definitely were.
I mean, they have the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Scooby-Doo, like Austin Powers. Like, those were the hits back then. Disney was like second place. I don't even know if they were second place, but Warner Brothers was a shit back then if they had those.
That's the thing. Disney really only had like, their cartoons and their animation, which was really kicking ass like to everybody else. But then obviously with the acquisition of all those properties, that's why Disney kind of in the lead.
All right, next one.
Universal, I really like Universal theme parks and what Universal's been able to do. They're still kind of behind, but they, I remember, I think it was 2017, they had, I think like 6 films in the $1 Billion Club, which was really cool.
I feel like they don't put out a lot of shit.
I don't think they have been recently.
I feel like they have like a new product or a new movie like every once in a couple of years. Like Disney's like you turn around and it's got a new movie.
Disney's-
Universal's like slow paced, like we're coming out with new content.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
Tra-
Next one.
uh,
Oh wait, that was the fast
Well,
one.
Universal, they own films like Jurassic Park franchise. Fast and the Furious is a really big
You know
brand
what's
for them.
stupid? Sorry.
What?
Why do I have to buy tickets to Disney World and then buy separate tickets to Universal?
Because they're 2 different parks.
Then why would I just farted with my mouth? Then why does Universal choose to put their place right next to Disney?
Because it's why, if there is a really big spot that people are already coming for vacation,
Oh, here you go. Kevin Durant joining the Warriors.
why wouldn't you put another attraction very close?
Build your own brand. That's what you should do. Build your own brand. Be confident in your product. And then you don't have to buy 2 different passes. When we went on vacation, my mom was like, we're not going to Universal. Like, why not? Isn't that part of Disney? Nope. You have to go to like buy a whole nother package just to go to Universal.
Yeah, it's a whole other thing, man.
That's stupid. Then why is it so close?
Because they see the profit there, man. They see the profit.
Oh my God, these people just piggybacking off of one another.
Universal's animation studios are really Illumination Entertainment, which is definitely a newer animation studio.
Oh, is that a Despicable Me?
Yeah.
Look at me.
That's Despicable Me, Secret Life of Pets, the new Dr. Seuss films, like
Oh,
the Grinch.
cancel.
Well, he's not canceled. He has old books that were written 90 plus years ago, and that it was very different.
Cancel.
Cancel. DreamWorks Animation, which was definitely Pixar's biggest rival back in the early 2000s.
That
with,
was Monsters,
Shrek.
Inc.
No.
Oh, I felt like I was on a roll. Shrek,
No,
I remember.
Shrek, How to Train Your Dragon, Kung Fu Panda, those kind
My
of.
girlfriend keeps trying to get me to watch How to Train a Dragon. She said
Amazing.
it's like one of the best movies she's seen.
It's so good, dude.
Might have to watch that one. Okay. Well, What's classic monsters?
So Universal's known for their classic monsters, which is like the Mummy, Frankenstein's monster.
I was thinking about when our friend threw up after Mummy at
Senior trip.
senior trip. Our friend got messed up on Transformers. We went on Mummy, and as we're walking out of Mummy, he just pukes in the trash can.
Who was this?
Shawnee Brownie.
Oh,
All
really?
you guys at home, Shawnee Brownie threw up after on the Mummy ride in the trash can in front of all the kids in the park.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
Mummy.
He'll remember that. He'll listen to this still.
The Mummy is one of my favorite rides at Universal. It's hands down one of the best roller coasters.
Well, not to Sean. He's got a little upset tummy to that one.
And then the last two studios we're going to talk about, definitely smaller studios. This is Paramount. But Paramount, surprisingly, I didn't think had that many properties, but they do. This includes
Wait, properties?
Yeah, like IP, so intellectual properties. So
Whoa, that's the 24-point Scrabble word.
like
That's actually 2 words.
Jurassic Park is a property of Universal.
Property.
Yeah, like an IP, an intellectual property.
Got it. IP.
So I have to pee.
Okay.
But
Talking about shit and pee on this. Like, what is going on right now?
it's a fun show. It's what we're doing.
Okay, I'm sure.
But Paramount, they owns like Nickelodeon, Star Trek, Mission Impossible, MTV.
I feel like Paramount has done like other movies such along the lines of like 27 Dresses or like those like human like movies, right? Have they?
Who? Paramount?
Paramount.
I mean, Paramount has a really big like TV brand. Like they own CBS.
Who does like most like rom-coms? Or does it really vary? I mean, there's so many rom-coms, but
Well, does
if someone watches a rom-com, romantic comedy,
Yeah. I know what rom-com
well,
stands
they
for.
might, the drug dealers watching at home don't know what a rom-com is. So if you were to see like a romantic comedy with, who does a lot of them? Matthew McConaughey, what was it? How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
Okay.
Do you see a movie like that and then you know automatically what studio it's from? Are you good like that where you can watch a movie and know what studio they're from without prior knowledge?
I don't think so. I think
I can.
I think major. I think like Disney, I would definitely know because their brand is very prominent. Universal the same way. Warner Brothers, I think I could get like Paramount and Warner Brothers a little mixed up, but
Well, the one thing with Sony, they got the PlayStation.
Sony, yeah. So Sony Studios isn't the most prominent. They only have a few big brands. Spider-Man is by far their largest brand. So they own Spider-Man.
That's so weird. Why are all the other Marvels in Disney, but then Sony's got Spider-Man?
So I don't think we've actually talked about this on the show, but Marvel.
I have such great questions.
You do. You're great. In the early or in the late 90s, I think Marvel Comics was basically going bankrupt. So Marvel was going bankrupt, and what they did was they ended up selling off rights to their like movie rights to different studios. They sold like the X-Men and the Fantastic Four to 20th Century Fox. They sold Spider-Man to Sony, and then they were only really left with some characters like Iron Man, Captain America, which were kind of known as B-list or C-list characters that didn't really sell well in comics.
So that's why everyone was excited when Sony was like, okay, we'll do a deal with you to make a Marvel movie.
Boom.
Because they realized if Sony didn't make a deal with Marvel, then they'd get no Spider-Man. And Spider-Man's the best. He's my favorite.
I love Spider-Man.
I remember there was like a big Twitter thing or media where Sony was not agreeing on a deal where they weren't allowing Spider-Man to be in Marvel movies.
Look at you.
Say,
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm full of all knowledge.
So-
listen here. You can be a drug dealer and no Marvel.
Yeah, early. I think it was after Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, the second one, Amazing Spider-Man 2. It didn't do that well at the box office.
It wasn't so amazing.
No, it was not.
The not so amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield. Give it up.
But a few years later, they ended up making a deal with Marvel Studios, and that allowed Spider-Man to jump into the MCU. So that's why you saw like Spider-Man. We got a new Spider-Man in Tom Holland. He came in. He did 2 solo films. He was in the Avengers films. Civil War. He was introduced. So
There's a lot of deals going on there. Do
Yeah.
you think they like when Marvel wants to make a deal with Sony, they send that ship out to sea to break up the ice?
Yeah.
When there's a lot of glaciers out there. So then once that ship breaks the ice, the Sony ship can go to the Marvel ship and they meet in the middle of the sea where the Titanic is made. And then they come up with a movie and a deal. They trade. And then they give Spider-Man off the ship, throw him overboard. The Pirates of the Caribbean. Spider-Man gets out of the ship, out of the water, climbs up onto Marvel's boat for do the one show. And then they come back on the Sony boat. And then the boats to go back to their dock.
Yeah. That works. I mean,
that pretty much wraps up the whole show today. Thanks for listening.
Brian did a full knot of the show today, and I mean that really does do the show. I don't know if we should. There's really nothing
hates
left.
that was the ending of the show.
That was nothing really else to talk about. But yeah, I mean that was our show, man. We talked about some movie studios. We talked about some things that now you know, right? And what was our first segment? We talked about alcohol.
Alcohol.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
All right. Thanks for listening to Life's a Party this week. Ryan tied it up. I couldn't really do much better than him. Thank you for listening to this week's show. Hopefully you follow us on Instagram and TikTok and everywhere at Life's a Party Pod. We just got over 50,000 followers on TikTok.
Love it. Finally,
we're doing some really cool
we're
things.
We're at 51
on there.
actually now.
Yeah, we're jumping.
We're climbing.
So we're having a good time. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. As always,
music. Take us out.
Peace.
Later.